playing off today's post. How long will I have to do this? What am I not changing? What am I not doing that isn't fixing this? I get that asked all the time. Most of the people don't begin when they ask with those questions, start with those questions. They're just not ready to, which is fine. Work with me as far as the way we go about things, but the question will be, so if I start up with you, about how long do you think it'll take for me to either A, start seeing results, or B, almost framed around, be done with this, feeling however they're feeling? And I deliver the truth about the information, and most of them don't start up, and the reason being is because that question, those statements on that meme today are literally framed around the philosophy and framed around the concept and the intent, with the intention that you are going to do whatever it takes as far as changing goes, under the condition that once better, you'll go back to how you were doing things before. And we know that just can't be the way. I mean, think about this. Think about even if your way of providing for yourself led to understanding your healing, led to understanding your injuries, led to understanding everything. You made all these changes, and part of it was maybe moving homes, completely relocating your address, maybe leaving a relationship, or maybe staying at your address or staying in a relationship. So that would mean then that once resolved, once you feel better, once healed, once whatever you want to frame it, you're going to move back to that state. You're going to move back to that apartment complex, move back to that home. You're going to go back with your ex. You're going to go back. Wait, well, that you would agree that that doesn't make any sense. And so again, I say, when you're breaking this down, you can say your body only heals all you want. If your efforts and intentions around your actions, and even if it's actions around sunlight and training and hiking and movies and meditation and all this stuff, is to feel better or balance a marker or heal in some way or neutralize some effect that you notice in systems, you will be met with the truth that your body wants you to see, and there will be more of the same or more of more because you missed this one. You didn't understand that it's not to be fixed. It's not to be resolved. You see this all the time in some of the top trainers providing some of the top research and science, which I think is just hilarious, that the top in a field of fitness, rehab, and strength conditioning are crippled, chronically injured, have no idea how any of that can be resolved, make no effort to resolve it, don't even own it, to say that, yeah, I just want to say that the research I'm providing, I really don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, because if I did, I would apply it to myself and understand all my injuries and understand how to increase my ability through my injuries, or understand why I'm on all these medications or why I'm on all these supplements. If I'm not on these medication supplements, I flare the fuck up and I just look like an absolute wreck. But I'm providing the cutting edge research and science on performance and healing of a human. That doesn't make sense. That's like taking financial advice from somebody broke and not saying, I'm admitting that I want to be broke, because there's that as well. There could be I understand what I need to do and how I need to see things. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to go through the work. There's that level of ownership. But again, you have to understand that mindset, that approach to anything in life being destination based, meaning I'm going to do all this to feel better, I'm going to do all this to heal, I'm going to do all this to solve the injury, ends up leaving you literally waking up and literally looking at all these amazing things that you're participating in and are part of your path and are a part of the experience, and you're to experience them more or less or differently, and that's what your body is doing, and you miss it all because you were expecting it all to become something that was done to solve the crisis, and then you move on to the next thing. Well, I guess it wasn't hiking. I guess I need to hike differently, or I guess I need to feed differently. I guess I need to get different sun in a different part of the yard, in a different yard. I guess it's the yard. I guess it's the grass. I guess it's the plants. I guess it's our location. Oh, what am I not doing? I guess it's how I'm speaking it. I guess it's you just end up keep chasing the next you guess it is. And then you, again, as I've said, you forget that there's life to be lived, and that is what your body wants you to see. It takes training, it takes strength, it takes repetition, it takes consistency, it takes different action plan on a path you've never been on before to have that footing where you can look at any symptom in any system and not make your next course of action be around figuring it out. You're not ever going to figure it out. That is not what the design is. If you figure it out and that's your effort, you will chase figuring it out, and you'll become exhausted and symptomatic and lost and hopeless and confused, and will latch it all up to luck or God's grace or religious, freedom and all these other things. Like, there's something that could be actually more certain, more beautiful, more poetic, more empowering, more perfect, more sustainable, more accessible. So you got to ask yourself, stare yourself in the mirror. Is that what you truly believe? Because again, you can repeat my meme all the time, or other memes where it's body only heals. Yes, body only heals. But your actions show what you truly believe. And if you truly believe that, then you wouldn't be seeking out what is to fix this. You wouldn't be phrasing things like, God, I'm not done yet, or when am I going to be done, or when am I going to have this figured out? What am I not figuring out? And do you have the strength? Because sometimes you may have to go 2 to 5 years with minor shifts or changes that are observable to you. Minor. Do you have the strength to continue to live in the capacity that you have, following the rules and writing the poetry within the rules, with a success to failure ratio being very lopsided? And in 2 to 5 years only do you start to see a page sort of slightly turn. Do you have that in you? That's what your body wants you to know. And that's the thing. It's what you earn, learn, and see along the way that becomes what you'll apply along more ways. So again, that the body only heals, and your efforts and everything else that you're going to do. And that's not discounting that symptoms aren't scary. Symptoms aren't offensive. Symptoms aren't misunderstood. Symptoms aren't frustrating. Symptoms aren't painful, aggravating. But that's the whole reason we can feel those emotions. That's part of it, and you are to sit with that, and to not choose to go back to a former way of life just to appease and reduce some of that fear, some of that discomfort, some of that salvation, knowing or not knowing full well that you're going to have to come back 3, 4, 5-fold to make up for the bailout. And that's why you get tested. I said that in the mental health Zoom. I said that in the injuries over on the subscription page and everything else, that you'll get tested 4, 5, 6 times to see if you own it, to see if you've got it. And that's part of the point. That's part of the point, is to see. Even with injuries, you have to test yourself to make sure before going back even into competition or performance, being a walk or a hike or a swim or a sports performance of some kind. You have to test and exceed anything you think you would ever encounter to even have the click go, I can do this. How? Because you proved it. So sitting with yourself, that's why when people say body only heals and they talk about that, I don't think you realize the power of that statement and the weight that comes with it and the responsibility. It's not cute. It's not fucking trendy. It's not light, and it's not to be taken it's not fleeting. It's not to be taken I mean, it's would you ever take your life lightly? Would you ever take your existence lightly? Because that is why those things are occurring, to keep you here doing more of you. Laugh emoji, laugh emoji. You wouldn't laugh emoji about your existence or your worth. And if you are, Jesus Christ, you got work to do if you want. But this laugh emoji around symptoms and laughing, it's not funny. It's not funny at all. It's serious. So again, body only heals. Okay, those are words. Your actions are going to be based on your true beliefs, not your words. So what do you believe when symptoms show up? Do you have that as the starting point? Because again, if it's going to be for my last 4 injuries, average 1.5 to 2 years for total resolution. And that's me. Everybody's different. You could see things and have total resolution in 3 days. Total resolution being you aren't aware of it anymore and you forget what part and what appendage and what side. You forgot what hurt. You forgot what it was like to remember what your symptoms were like. That's total resolution. And symptoms can change and rotate through systems. It can go from skin to muscle to energy to digestion to sleep to bones to blood to lymph to... It's going to rotate as it rotates. The body's going to do what it's going to do. You don't get to choose that. You have the experience. And again, you have the rules to support the experience, and then you have the poetic nature of your experience. And that's going to be varying person to person. Never the same. Never the same even for you. So ask yourself, go back to that meme, and are you stating those 4 or 5 things? How long is this going to take? What am I not seeing to fix this? When is this going to be done? When is this going to be over? It's okay to have emotions with not liking your symptoms. Jesus Christ, that's not what we're talking about. Like, my God. But it's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to be jarring. It's supposed to kind of take your feet out, because to change you from who you previously were, depending on what you were holding on to or whatever's cycling back up, anything from a musculoskeletal injury to a emotional injury to a mental injury to the intellect that you carry to all the stuff you bring on, what needs to be reprogrammed? If the stimulus has to be greater than the stimulus caused the injury, think about what the body needs to jar you. What the body's going to do, it's going to create a symptomatic stimulus that's greater than the one before until you get it. That's why anytime we try to control and manage symptoms, from even an ankle to skin to digestion to hormones to fertility to whatever it's going to be, it jumps from ankle to worse ankle to double ankle to knee to double knee to, why metastases happen. It's not random. It's not attacking. It's just bringing it back to bring a stimulus greater than the one before that you had the opportunity. And then your counter stimulus to work with it needs to be greater to break all that up. And it doesn't matter what the injuries are. They're all coming from the same place. Symptoms, injuries, systems, emotions, mentality, spirituality, intellect, vibration, chemical, whatever it's going to be. It's fucking gnarly. But it's supposed to be, because what you get to participate in requires somebody that has experienced gnarly, and you're designed for gnarly. You're designed for the trauma. You're designed for lightning. You're designed for the fall. That's pretty rad. I got kind of pumped up right there. All right. Boom.